just lifting for Charmaine. Is that all right with both of you?
Yeah.
So no swearing at me, you know. We're starting lying down.
Oh, good.
Sort of.
That's great.
Yeah. So you can take your feet a little bit wider. Oh, I've still got my Pilates mat down. I'll change that shortly. So we're going to have the feet flat and the feet just very slightly wider than the hips. And to start with, you're going to bring your attention to your feet. So you might want to pick up the toes and then stretch the foot out as you place it back down. So you're lengthening through every toe. You might also want to do the same with the heels. So you're trying to create as much space through the bottom of each foot as you can. And separating and lengthening the toes, stretching them into the mat so you become really grounded through each foot. We're then going to do exactly the same with the hands. So your palms are flat on the mat. And you might want to lift the fingers and stretch the hands out. Lift the heel of the hand, place it down, separate the fingers, stretch them out. Until you feel like you've got a much stronger connection to the mat. And then bring your attention to your breath, starting to calm each breath down. In through the nose and out through the nose, and try and keep your attention on that connection you have between the hands, the feet, and the floor. So the breath itself will help to calm your whole body. And you can encourage that by creating release at the shoulders, softening the muscles around the face, relaxing the legs. If you notice your mind start to wander, instead of coming back just to the breath, notice the connection that you have to the ground. This isn't very helpful, Molly. If either of you two want to laugh, I'm having some issues. What are you doing in here? I'm trying to be grounded. Well, there you go. Never work with children and animals. So, where were we? We were calming the breath and being grounded. So you're going to stay focused on the connection between the soles of the feet, the connection between the palms and the mat. And we're going to go straight up into shoulder bridge. So on an inhale, you're lifting the hips right up. And then as you exhale, we're melting back down to the floor, bone by bone. So you can keep that moving at your own pace, nice and calmly. As you go up and down, start bringing your attention to stretching and lengthening through the back of your neck. If you're particularly stiff in your shoulders, as you come up and increase the pressure on the backs of your shoulders, it might feel quite nice, like somebody put their hands on your tight muscles. And we're going to do 3 more like this. After the last one, just bring your feet a little bit closer together and tuck them in towards your bottom a little more. So again, grounding through the feet. It's a little bit narrower actually, Emma. Bring your feet towards each other a bit. That's it, yes, yes. So, grounding through the feet. We're going to go up again into a bridge on an inhale. But once you're up there, we're going to take the arms underneath the body, lace the fingers together, and draw the shoulders back. So now you're pressing down into the back of your arms to send your hips to the ceiling and keep the back of your neck long. This lends itself to Ujjayi breathing, so you can make the switch now. We're holding for 6 breath rounds. Once you come out of this, you're going to smoothly roll back down. And then we're going to bring the soles of the feet together and let your knees drop out to the side. So we're just going to try and let them settle. That might feel quite edgy, a bit uncomfortable. So you're going to use the breath to try and just soften into the hip space and possibly around the glutes as well. Just let the knees gently rock out to the side. And then we're taking the arms above the head. If you want to, you can take hold of each elbow, or you can just let the arms relax onto the floor with the backs of the hands flat. One more Ujjayi breath round here. And then on an inhale, bring your arms to vertical. As you exhale, you're going to take your right leg over to sit it on top of the left and take your arms out to the side. And we're just going to stay here for a moment. So kind of easy bench rest, but we're going to add a little bit on in a second. So whilst you're here, just try and keep the knees one pressed down on the other. Relax your shoulders, relax your neck. And now with that right knee, you're going to bring the right knee up into your left hand. So grab onto that knee and pull it up and across. 4 breaths. Still trying to soften through the shoulder blade. After your 4th breath, allow that knee to slide back down on top of the left leg. We'll swing the legs over to the other side and turn your head in the other direction. 4 breaths just resting here and then pick up the knee. When you come back to the center, place both of your feet flat on the floor once again to ground yourself. And then bring the knees into the chest, cross the ankles. So Take one hand over top of each foot and roll yourself up to Sukhasana. Get blinded by sunshine.
Yeah.
So we're going to come to Chin Mudra. So the inner thighs are completely relaxed, shoulders down. Tapping into that Ujjayi breathing. Try and relax around the hips and allow yourself to settle into your sitting pose. Nice long neck. And then we're coming to a little bit of neck roll. So drop the head down, and then you're just taking your ear over to one shoulder to open up on one side of the neck. If you want to hold it here for a couple of breaths, that's fine. Or you can drop the chin back down and roll to the other side.
I don't know, love. Leave that phone on.
Finish on the opposite side to where you started, and bring your head back up to the center. We're then going to take the arms around an imaginary ball. So you're going to connect one handle to the other. And now push into the space between your shoulder blades. 4 breaths holding. After your 4 breaths holding here, we're going to take the arms around the back. We're going to focus on sending the arms low to draw the shoulders down. And then just very slightly lift your chin and your chest to open up across the front of the shoulders. Again, 4 breaths. So come out of this, we're going to come out on an inhale. And the arms are going to go to the side and up. And then as you exhale, we're forward folding. So we're softening around the backs of the hips and into the lower back. 4 breaths. Let your head be heavy. Drop down, soften in. When you're ready to come out of it, you'll come out on an inhale. Cross the legs around the other way on an exhale. And then take your arms to the side and up. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold, softening down. When you're ready to come out this one, we're coming out on an inhale. We're just coming back up to a straight spine. Make sure that you've still got control over your breath, and when you're ready, we're going into those easy side bends with extra focus on staying soft around the hips and on the inner thighs. So as you go from side to side, be really mindful of what's happening in your hips and your inner thighs. When you go to the side, really connect your hands to the mat. Feel every finger. It doesn't have to press, just connect and ground to the floor. We're going to do a couple more to each side. And then you're coming to Dandasana. Which I don't know about anyone else, but that feels quite stiff and uncomfortable.
Yes.
Well, we're all in this together, eh? So inhaling, we're taking your arms forwards and up. Exhale, ouchies, forward bend. Ooh, should we stay here for the rest of the session?
Yes, that's very painful. Ooh.
Is it quite painful for you as well, Emma?
Not that bad, it's mainly just here.
Yeah. Well, since I know what's coming next, and it doesn't really matter that I'm telling you that I'm changing it, but I'm changing it. So we're going to bring the hands around the back. You're going to come into a seated glute stretch. So we're going to open up across the chest and just work into that hip for a few breaths. It'll make sense in a minute why I've chucked this in.
Oh, God.
Exactly. We hold a lot of emotions in our hips and buttocks, SJ.
No, that explains it then. Can you rock a bit on it or not?
Yeah, crack on.
Yeah.
Rock from side to side, wiggle about a bit, lift, lower, collapse, breathe, whatever you need. Cheated, Ellie, you've chosen your easy side first. But stay where you are, stay doing what you're doing. I just want to show you what we're doing, where we're going. Okay, because we're then going to take this leg all the way across so you're in half cow space. Yeah, so normally the other leg would be up around here. And then we're doing another forward bend. But as we all came into that forward bend, it was so I thought we'd better not do it without extra stretching.
Good idea.
So if you're happy and you're ready to, we're going to take the straight leg out. But yeah, that's it. That's it. Comes all the way across and you're poking your toes out to the side for a single cow's ear. Inhaling, take the arms up. Exhale into your forward fold. Ouchies.
Oh.
Ouchies with belt on. It's a very different body I've got now that I'm not doing this all day.
Oh. Probably quite nice to have the combination though, isn't it?
Yeah. 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 I'm just so scared someone's going to take it away from me. I'm like, I don't get to be this lucky, do I? Do you know what I mean? It feels like, no.
It's good.
Do you know what I mean? Right, glute stretch on the other side. Emma, spend hours on it.
Oh.
Even though we've only got like 40 minutes, but spend hours on it.
I can't even do it that far.
I'm going to leave this one up to you because it's just you two. You know, it's basically a private lesson, isn't it? So when this eases off, you at your own pace can take it in. Yeah?
But this ain't ever gonna ease off.
Okay, maybe I need to find a different way of expressing that. When you've got bored, maybe?
Ooh.
Where's Hayley working yesterday?
Oh yeah, she's never stopped working. She's working at estate agents. She's a lettings and sales person
Oh yeah, for who?
for a company called Chaplin's.
Okay.
So she's about to move. She's in Waterlooville at the minute, but they're going to move her to Liss.
Right.
Yeah, so she hasn't been there. She started off as like a trainee, and she's worked all through lockdown, really, which is better, isn't it? When you think you're a estate agent, you're still showing people around houses.
Yeah. Mad, isn't it?
Got a great friend.
Got to keep the economy going somehow, haven't you? Emma, how was that?
All right, not too bad.
Let's go over into all fours.
Oh,
So we did quite, so I've been bringing your attention to grounding a little bit so far. It really comes into its own now when you have to use your hands for most of the feedback. So I'm hoping that now you'll notice that your hands are just flatter, and the fingertips are a bit more stretched and the thumbs are a little bit more connected than they usually are. And from here we're going to go into cat-cow. So again, you can go at absolutely your own pace with your Ujjayi breathing. We're going to take 2 more of these here and then add in the opposite arm and leg, which is inhaling to take the arm and leg away, exhaling to come in and connect the knee and the inside of the elbow together. It will be 6 on each side and then into pose of child. So let your head go right in there, Emma. So almost like, so the elbow and the knee, yes. It's a lot more unstable, but you get a much better stretch through the back of the body. Okay. Once you get into pose of child, just settle into your breath and allow your tailbone to drop into that space between your heels. Now we're coming forwards to all fours. Once again, inhale, send your chest forwards and tuck your toes under. Exhale and stand up. Now we're pedaling the feet. I did one of those foot masks the other night. You know, the ones that after 5 to 7 days make your feet fall off.
Oh, yeah.
Never done one before. I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah.
Might be that next Monday I can't take my socks off. On your next inhale, we're going to take the right foot through to the top of the mat. I'm going to drop the left knee down. So we're going to come into a low lunge and focus for a few moments on stretching and opening up through your left hip, shoulders back. Your emotional left hip. Then you're going to be rocking. So we're going to rock back on the front leg, lift the toes up, drop your forehead down towards the knee. You're rocking back on an exhale and forwards on an inhale.
Do you sit on it or just rock?
Just rock. Just rock, rock, rock. So you kind of stretch the hip on the left and then you stretch the hamstring on the right. Now we're going to do 2 more. After your last one, we're then going to come up to a high lunge. And then you're going to take the right hand onto the inside of the right foot. Plant that hand. Okay, so it's completely flat and grounded. Now we're rotating to the left, and as you do so, you're going to need to swivel on your back foot so that it flattens. To come into a twist. Yeah? That's it. Coming into your twist. There we go, for 4 breaths. Now because I've turned away from you and you've turned away from me, at the end of your 4 breaths, you're going to straighten that right knee on an inhale, and you should just come straight into Trikonasana. Yeah? So the hand just slides up the inside of your lower leg, and you should have landed in Trikonasana. Yes? So take your body back a bit, Esther. Imagine you've got somebody sort of doing that. Exactly. That's it. 4 breaths. When you are ready to come out of it, we'll come back down to a high lunge on an inhale. And as you exhale, step back to tabletop. On your next inhale, coming through with the left foot, drop the right knee down. And in case anyone's interested, this is why you need a yoga mat, this Pilates mat, because this one stretches. Where is it anyway? So, we should be into the right hip. Are we in the right hip?
Mm-hmm.
You know. Ready to rock?
Mm-hmm.
Dad thinks so, isn't it? Anyway, rocking back, exhale, drop your forehead down towards your knee. And inhale, coming forward, shoulders. One more. And then when you come forward, we're going to inhale to lift up the back knee. Exhale to reposition your hands. And then inhale to swivel and open up into your twist. It's 4 breaths. And then you're just straightening that front leg to take you into chaturanga. Yeah, that's it. Just slide up your leg. Beautiful. 4 breaths. Inhale to lunge. Exhale to downward dog. One more inhale, exhale, and downward dog, and then come down to pose with the child. And you can do whatever you like with your arms. You can have them out in front, by your feet, out to the side, under your head. Fling them over a rainbow, whatever you like. When you're ready, roll yourself up to sitting. You're going to take the knees, or make sure that the knees are max distance apart and your toes are connected at the back. Using all of that lovely hip space, we're going to come into King Cobra. So the hands are going forwards. On an inhale, you're going to lift up the feet, drop the hips down, and you're taking your head backwards towards your toes. All on an inhale. Exhale, rock your bottom back, just keep your hands where they are. So you can keep moving at your own pace, and just really working into the front of the pelvis to help you open up. So rather than thinking about it as being a shortening of the back, try and think about it as being an opening up of the front of the body. And then once you've got your feet and your head together, just grab onto your feet there and just pull your legs towards the ceiling. Or not. 2 more. After your last one, I'm afraid we're not staying in posing child for very long. We're going to come back to all fours so that we can make a transition back to downward dog. So inhale, tuck toes, send the chest forward. Exhale to downward dog. And then when you inhale, walk your hands towards your feet, put Uttanasana. So another opportunity to broaden the sole of each foot, separate your toes, and really feel that connection to the ground. The only place of support, so you need to maximize its potential usage. Then drop your arms down and soften through your knees. You're going to sweep the arms forwards to come up on an inhale. Lift the chest and then exhale to come down the centre line and pause here. Relax your arms down. There's absolutely no way I can do the next sequence on this mat. So we'll just do a quick change. Here's one I prepared earlier. Right, so we're going to come into a wide stance sideways on the mat. You see, my feet were just, disappeared from each other. So again, with the feet, really grounding, connecting, broadening each foot, feeling the base of each toe, feeling the balance. And then just let your arms drop down by your sides for now, relax your shoulders. On an inhale, we're going to take the arms to the side and come up to Kali Mudra. So that's the index fingers pressed towards the ceiling, the other 3 fingers interlaced as you exhale the side bend. And we're going to let this one flow. So you're going to side bend over on the exhale, come up inhaling and change sides, exhale. So as you go from side to side, use your feet. It's almost like your feet are growing roots down into the mat to really secure your body. So therefore you can go much further in the side bend because you're so strong at the base. Finish on the opposite side to where you're starting. Just bring your hands down to a prayer at your breastbone. We're going to very slightly turn the heels in to face each other. Okay, so again, really grounding through the feet. We're going to keep the hands where they are. We're going into goddess, but from here. So as you exhale, we're going to send the knees out to the side, drop the hips down. Try and keep the spine really straight, Esther. So you can see how you're leaning forwards. Yeah, I want you to imagine that you've just slid your back down the wall. Tuck your bottom underneath you, and then really work your knees out to the side. Concentrate on your feet only. Concentrate on your feet. So come out of it, come up on an inhale, and then we're just going to do a ragdoll drop through the middle. Exhale. None of you saw it, but I couldn't stay in goddess because my buttock went into cramp.
Yeah, so did mine.
That's very goddessy, isn't it? Oh yeah. I'll go back into goddess pose once my arse has stopped cramping. Hilarious. So we're going to go into some side lunges, and you can be really free and easy with them. So if that heel comes off the floor, let the heel come off the floor. If you want to turn your other foot and flip it to the ceiling, turn it, flip it, don't, whatever you like, just get into those hips.
Oh.
So you walk your hands, you can try and lift your chest up, you can stay wherever. Yeah, we're just having a jolly good time with them, really. Obviously, I do appreciate that my idea of a good time is different to other people's. Finish on the opposite side to where you started. And then straighten your legs, straighten your arms, straighten your back. So it's almost like you're coming into a half spine, but your legs are further away from each other. Okay. On your next exhale, you're going to try and reach as far through to the other side as you can, almost like you're trying to rest on the back of your head. Yeah,
Give me a second.
that's right.
I can hear them arguing downstairs.
Not very zen, is it? We're going to come back up on an inhale and just zigzag your feet in towards each other until they're in enough. You can get down in your yogi spot. Again, try to straighten the back as much as possible. Slide the shoulders down. Balance the feet. So, on an inhale, we're going to swivel in one direction so that you end up back in a lunge. And as you exhale, you can step back to downward dog. On your next exhale, fold it down to pose of a child. When you're ready, roll yourself up to sitting on an inhale and then come up to kneeling.
It'd be nice for you to go to work and wear clothes.
Well, yes, although I don't get to do that terribly often. Yes. Because a lot of the companies that I'm working with are all still teaching online.
Right.
My best setup for viewing that is at home in my own office. So I'm going in tomorrow, but that's essentially so I can use their printer. We're going to go into eagle arms. So we're sending the elbows down and focusing on having space between the ears and tips of the shoulders for 4 breaths, and then changing sides. Interestingly enough, I have a meeting tomorrow with the vice principal, because apparently the other quality team want to steal me,
Oh, how lovely.
which will mean I have to put clothes on a daily basis. So 4 breaths and then change sides when you're ready. I hurt this shoulder again, sorry. We're going to stay in kneeling, but you both might need to turn sideways because we're going to go out along the mat. Well, that is a much better idea, Esther. So we're going to come into gate pose, plant your foot at the side, and we're initiating with this side stretch. So you can have a little roll forward, a little roll back, and really try and get into one of your corners. From here, we are going to take it up into the balance. So we're going to come up for 4 breaths with the arm vertical, the leg out straight, kick your heel away. After the 4 breaths here, we're going to take hold of the ankle and draw yourself into a front of thigh stretch. Yes?
God.
And then it just the other side ends.
And then do the other side, yeah?
Other side, yeah. Stretch, balance, stretch. Good. Then we're going to choose a graceful transition into Baddha Konasana. So drawing the shoulders down, lengthening your neck, and then the knees outwards towards the floor. We should have lots and lots of space in the hips. What do you reckon, Emma? Actually, all joking aside, that left leg looks all right now.
Yeah,
It looks like it's doing the same as the right one.
because it's been stretched out.
Yeah. Oh well, all you need to do is hours of yoga every day and you'll be completely fine. You haven't got anything else to do, have you? So when you're ready, you can take the feet away from the pelvis and take it forwards to cobbler's pose. Once that feels off and you roll yourself back up to sitting, we're going to come into a balance. We're taking hold of the inside of each big toe. So the tailbone is very slightly tucked under, shoulders down, chest lifted. That's it. So, from here, the balance is the most important thing, the leg isn't. So as you inhale, you're going to take the leg to the side. If it straightens, it straightens. If it doesn't, it really doesn't matter. You exhale, you're bringing it back in. You're just really looking to stay very centered. So regardless of what your body's doing, you're in control. 4 on each side, 4 both together, and then 4 holding. Okay. So we're going to go into a shoulder stand, but you can say no and do something else entirely if you prefer. But this is what I propose. We go from sitting and we're going to roll into it. So if you keep your head tucked in, as you roll, your hands ground into the mat so that you can send your legs up, and then they come into the lower back so that you can send the legs up into the air. Okay? But you don't have to. If you don't fancy it, you can put your feet up a wall and just chill. You literally just kind of, relaxing.
Don't tempt me.
Literally, feet up the wall pose is a thing.
I'll try because I can do it when I've got the wall behind me.
You got what?
Get my feet on the wall. Wow.
Please don't break your toe.
I won't. It's actually all just curtain there, so.
How long do we stay in this, or do we just keep coming
Now
out?
I finished talking to. No. Okay, we're all in. So a couple of breaths, okay? 2 breath rounds, but we're not just falling out of it. When you are ready to come out of it, we're going to bend your knees, like you're trying to put them on your forehead. And then use your hands to very slowly support you in coming down. So the hands sort of going onto the outside of the legs. So just really slowly roll to the mat and hug your knees in. Or you could do that, Emma, that's fine.
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah, hug your knees in. Have a little rock from side to side. That's quite strong on the lower back. So you need to just give it a little bit of a massage out before we come into Shavasana. Otherwise, you might find that when you stretch your legs out, because of the big stretch on the lower back, when the natural curve reappears now, when you straighten your legs out along the floor, it can ache. But you are not to be alarmed, that's completely normal. All right? So straighten your legs out into Shavasana. How is your lower back? Is it aching or is it okay?
Okay.
It's okay. Good. Emma?
Okay.
Good. Good. In which case, you can enjoy Shavasana for a few moments then. So initially, just come away from Ujjayi, come back to your easy breathing. In through the nose and out through the nose. And at the start of this session, we were grounding through the hands and the feet. You can create that same sense of connection to the earth, that same grounding energy, but this time it's your whole body. So as the breath calms and your body just starts to let go, kind of away from your postures, all the work is done. You can now start to bring your awareness to the connections that you have between you and the floor. And the more you let go in your body, the stronger those connections seem to be. So specifically, you're looking at being connected to this main contact point, back of the head, the backs of the shoulders along each arm, right the way down to the back of each head. Every single breath drops down, softens, and becomes more connected. The back of the pelvis, as it drops down, also seems to widen. Drawing the hip bones away from each other at the front, and gently rolling the thigh bones out. And then your connection to the mat is on the outsides of the thighs, the outsides of the thigh, and the outsides of each foot. Try and visualize the lift every time you exhale. Another little part of tension moves away, allows you to drop into your mat and feel fully connected to the ground. Grounded you are, in balance before. When you're ready, we'll just start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Bring your knees up into your chest round. When you're ready to come up to sitting, come up and just stay there. So come to Sukhasana, Chin Mudra. Relax your shoulders, close your eyes. I want you to just notice how heavy you feel against the floor. That strong connection to your sitting bones and release in your hips. The release in the shoulders allows your spine to be heavy even though it's not. You have an overall sense of feeling grounded. And that's what you're going to take with you through this week. So when you're ready, bring your hands together. Hands back. Namaste.
Thank you.
Welcome. Stay grounded.
Yeah, I needed that.
Good. Have a good week.
Yes, and you, sweetheart. See you Monday next week. Bye. Bye, Emma.
Bye.